Okay, so we are finally jumping into this playlist that I've been wanting to make so badly. The first set of videos on this playlist is Leadership for the Long Haul. And before you guys click out of here thinking that I'm just talking about people who are sponsoring others, don't. I have a lot of information on here that is going to be helpful to you. As a matter of fact, this first video has nothing to do with sponsoring, so please stay in here and watch. So this, you guys are going to see a side of me that you haven't seen before. There is an empathetic side of Nicole that is mostly on our team page because I don't want to freak anybody out, and some people just have different goals than others, and not everybody is hardcore wanting to run to the top with Scentsy, and that's okay. And those people are not going to come over here and watch this playlist because growing their business with Scentsy is not what's on their minds. So I don't want to constantly throw this information out there on our team page, but I also don't want to withhold it from you guys who want to hit the ground running and just hear the hard stuff and are willing to just jump in, okay? So get your work boots on because there's going to be some things on here that, might seem a little hard. I am constantly practicing these things myself. This is nothing that I have down packed. This is just something that I am learning, and I don't want to wait until I perfect it because one, that's never going to happen, and two, I don't want to wait until I gain more information to share it because we can all do this together, okay? So I'm not a natural born leader at all, but leadership is super, super important. And it is crucial if you want your business to go to the top. So I need you guys to hear me out. Even if I say things that aren't fun to listen to, I have had to be open-minded myself. This is hard for me too, and let's just do this together, okay? So here we go. All right, so leadership for the long haul. Everybody's a leader, whether you have 5 people under you or whether you have 0 people under you. You're still a leader because you're leading yourself. And how you lead yourself is going to determine the success or failure of your business. So we need to first, before we dig into anything directly Scentsy related, we need to make sure that we are leading ourselves properly, because if we're not, the rest of the stuff is just not going to happen. Once we get to that stuff, if we skip this step and we skip over how we're leading ourselves, then we're just going to run into roadblock after roadblock, and it's going to be hard, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be easy anyway, but it's just going to be that much harder because we don't have a system in place for leading ourselves. So leadership for yourself, what does that look like? I have a list, and it's in order with how you need to take care of leading yourself. If you do this list out of order, it's not going to work. If you try to skip steps in this order, it's not going to work. I've tried. I am so stubborn, and I am so stuck in my ways that I don't like change. I don't like change, and I especially don't like change to things that are comfortable for me. And so these things are hard, but it's necessary. And so you just kind of have to decide for yourself, do you want your comfort zone or do you want financial freedom? Do you want your comfort zone or do you want to change your family's life and future? Do you want your comfort zone or do you want to build relationships and change lives and pass it on to people who are struggling? So we have to make that decision. And once we make that decision, we need to constantly remind ourselves of that when times get hard and when it gets hard to stick to. The very first step in leading yourself is self-care. This looks like taking care of yourself. Whoa, that's taboo, right? Especially if you're a mama or if you've got a full-time job. I mean, taking care of yourself is just like, what the heck is that? But you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, whatever that looks like. It's going to look different for everybody. For myself, taking care of me means I need to shower and wash my face. I need to wake myself up in the mornings. I need to get up before my girls do. I need to get up, have my coffee, and get myself ready for the day before my girls wake up. Otherwise, I'm just off all day because I didn't have a chance to prepare for the morning. So I know that self-care for me looks like a shower, a clean face, and getting up before them so that I can have my coffee. And I know that those 3 things are crucial. There's many other things on that list, like I need to eat better, make sure I'm eating, make sure that I'm sleeping, all of those things as well. But the 3 main things that I know affect my mood are those 3 things. You need to make sure that you are sleeping at night. Are you staying up till 3 a.m. just scrolling through TikTok or Facebook? Because if you're doing that, you're not getting the amount of sleep you need. And if you're not getting the amount of sleep you need, this does not work properly. You might think it is, but it's not. It's not. And you have to make sure that you're caring physically for your body, because without that, you're running on empty. You're running on fumes, and you cannot do anything well while you're living like that. So please, I know it's hard. Mom guilt is real. Where is the time? I don't know. You've got to make it. You have to make time. Sensei or no sensei, you have to make time for self-care, okay? Making time for self-care is time management. So this is huge. This is one of my biggest struggles is time management. You know that I am squirrel. Seriously, that is me all day long. You have to have better time management. If time management is a thing for you, if you're finding yourself constantly stressed out or just barely making a deadline, or rushing to get things done and all of that stuff right there contributes to your physical and mental health. If you do not have good time management, then it can tremendously affect your mental and physical health. So making sure that you have time and you have a plan, whatever that looks like, I don't care if, look at this. So Laura Godwin sent me a director's survival kit when I promoted, and this is what she sent me. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Nope. There we go. So look at this. Happy home cleaning schedule. And literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it goes down like clean the shower and toilets. And it's like little things each day. It's not a huge task every single day, but it's the little stuff every day that's going to keep you on top of things, or at least more on top of things than you would if you put all of this off to do random things, and then one day or 1 hour or whenever, you have to do all of these things at one time. That's going to stress you out. So she sent this list. This has nothing to do with Scentsy, yet it has everything to do with Scentsy. She sent this list, and it's like little tiny cleaning things to do each day. Don't get distracted. Don't get sidetracked and do something that's supposed to be done on Wednesday. Don't do it on Monday. Stick to it if that's what you need, because I know I do. If that's what you need, if you need somebody to spell it out for you, and you need to remind yourself, don't look at a squirrel. Like, seriously, just do what this says. Don't do anything else. Don't try to multitask with it. Don't. Just stick to the lists. So there's lists for cleaning your home. There's lists for yourself. There's lists for your business. There's lists for everything. I need that desperately in my life. The times that I've been the most stressed out with this business, and honestly, guys, for me to be stressed out with Scentsy is like, what? Because Scentsy, you guys know I bleed purple. I'm such a freak when it comes to Scentsy. But there are times that I've been stressed out, and I have figured out and pinpointed in those times that I was stressed out what was stressing me out. And 9 out of 10 times it's because I was rushing to do something, or I had 15 incomplete tasks. Why do I have those incomplete tasks? Because I'm trying to do too many things at one time. So multitasking is not good, and time management is important. That is going to affect your self-care. If you come home and your house is a disaster, think about what that does to you mentally. I mean, some people may be able to work in it. I can't. How can you work when you can't find anything? You can't find stuff. Like, you come home, you want to go get a glass of water, and there's no clean dishes. Like, seriously, then you got to wash all the dishes to just get a water and whatever. You know what I mean? You can't find any clean clothes to wear because they're all balled up in a pile. So when things like that get behind, it affects us mentally, very much so, which then can affect us physically. So that's what I mean by self-care. I mean all the things. And there is a lot. So don't let that overwhelm you. Just either find a system or make one that works for you and stick to it. So that way you can just get yourself on a better schedule. Pay attention to what stresses you out. Pay attention to when you get angry. Pay attention to what makes you distracted from life and from important things. And then make a note of that in that moment. What in this moment is doing that to me? So self-care and time management is the number one thing that we need to do to lead ourselves successfully and properly. The second thing, and the reason why this is second, so some may argue with me on this thing. So the second thing I have on my list is spiritual care. The reason why this is second for me, God always comes first in my life, guys, always comes first. But if I have not showered, and I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, I have gone through depression, so I know what it feels like to be laying in bed and very depressed and not showered in several days and just everything is a mess. I can't focus on anything, much less praying and talking to God. And so I have to make sure that I'm getting myself up and awake so that way I can focus and have that time with Him. That is why this is second. So some may argue with me about that, but for me in my life, He is not second, but my prayer time is, because I need to pay attention to what I'm talking about. So spiritual care. I don't know what you guys believe in. This is a crucial part of leading yourself, because you need to figure out the bigger purpose in your life. And for my life, I'm a Christian, and so there is a much bigger purpose in my life than wax. And I have to make sure daily, hourly, that is what I'm focused on mostly. I need to make sure that I am constantly reminded of who I'm actually working for. Because if I lose sight of that, then I'm going to start looking inward, and I'm going to start becoming selfish, and I'm going to start becoming greedy, and I'm going to start focusing on numbers and not people. And that does not make a good leader. That selfishness is not leadership at all. At all. So if I forget my bigger picture and my life's purpose, and if I forget who I'm working for, then I'm going to lose sight and the vision altogether, which is going to just make me a terrible leader. So number 3, how we care for and treat others. This is another crucial part of leadership. How we're leading ourselves is how we allow ourselves to treat and care for others. So this, again, I am not saying these things because I've got it down packed and I'm perfect at it. Not at all. Not at all, okay? I'm saying these things because I have to constantly work on them, and I've noticed that these things have made a difference in my life, in my mental health, in my business, just in my peace of mind. These things have helped. So that is why I am sharing them. But how we care for and treat others. What does this look like? So when you go to a restaurant and the waitress takes your order and she's not like super friendly and comes back, she forgot to refill your drinks, she got the order wrong, so it got sent to you wrong. How are you responding to that situation? Are you being a witch about it? Are you being patient? Now, I'm not saying you need to let people walk all over you, because there is a time to speak up and be firm and stand up for yourself. But are we trying to look at another perspective? Are we trying to look at another side of this? And, we don't know what she's going through, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Talking to her with an attitude is not going to help anything. It's just going to escalate it and make it worse. Okay, what about the guy on the phone? When you call your cell phone company and a guy picks up and he's just trying to do his job and make money just like all of us are for our families, and he's trying to help you out the best he can, but he doesn't speak good English. How are you talking to him? Are you being really ugly with him? Because, I mean, he's trying to do his job. Yeah, that can be really frustrating when you just need help and you need to be able to communicate with the people. But there's a kind way of doing things. And having an attitude is not going to help you in any way. Because what's going to happen is you are going to bring that into your Scentsy business. Do you think that you can just flip on the attitude and flip it off whenever you want to? No, you can't. You cannot do that. It's going to follow you into your Scentsy business. Okay. So, some of y'all have a freaking chip on your shoulder and you need to get rid of it. That's not how we treat people. And, if you think that you can carry this chip on your shoulder all day and then come into your Scentsy business and care for your people and care for your customers, but honey, we've got to talk if that's what you think. I'm serious. There is not enough love and care in this world. And if you've got a chip on your shoulder, it's time to get rid of it. It's time to get rid of it. Whatever. Maybe that's because the first 2 steps of self-leadership is out of order. Maybe you're skipping one. I don't know. But whatever the reason that there is a chip on your shoulder, it's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. You cannot treat people like that and have a successful business. You don't know who you're talking to. One, it's not just about bringing that chip into your Scentsy business, but what about that waitress? I mean, what if you just had compassion and started a conversation with her and were the bigger person? Could she have just been a jerk? Sure. Okay. But we don't know that. We don't know that. And what if you made a friend? And what if you made a connection with her? And what if she became a customer? What if she joined your team? What if she made all the difference in your success with Scentsy? But you're never going to find out now because you were a witch. You've got to get the freaking chip off your shoulder. Talk to people and approach people as if you were talking to Heidi and Orville and they want to know who's representing their company. Talk to people as if you are trying to help them find something to buy. Talk to people as if you are trying to have a joint conversation. Talk to people as if you were talking to Jesus. And that's it in a nutshell. And I'm not talking about just when you want to show off your products and seem all nice and sweet on Facebook and post all those inspirational things on Facebook about spreading love and spreading kindness, but you got a freaking chip on your shoulder when somebody doesn't put your hamburger together right. You've got to get rid of that. This leadership is about servanthood, and that's not something that we turn on and off. That's a lifestyle. That is a lifestyle. And I understand the society that we're in today has created a lot of entitled, selfish people. But it's up to us to recognize a chip on our shoulder when we have one. And then we've got to do what it takes to get rid of it. So if your chip on your shoulder is caused from not having self-care, time management, not connecting with God or whoever, then go back and get those steps in order. But we've got to figure it out and we've got to remove it, okay? So number 4 is education for success and education for business growth. Leaders never stop learning. You can never stop learning. You have to lead yourself, and by leading yourself, you need to constantly be on the lookout for information that is going to help you in this. You need to look for information that is going to help you market. Are you not getting any interactions? Do you suck at taking pictures? Whatever. Do you suck at attraction marketing? Do you suck at wording things on your Facebook page? Do you have social anxiety and you need tips for how to talk to people? Whatever it is, even if it's just learning more about the business and marketing and how to be more confident and all of those things, whatever it is, you've got to continue to learn. Book after book. I don't read because I don't have time, but I don't use that excuse because this playlist is my no excuses kind of playlist, because if you really want this, you're going to squash every single excuse you have, and you're just going to buckle down and do this, and you're going to fail and you're going to make mistakes, but you're going to get back up and you're going to do it again, and we're going to start at square one every single time we need to. And we need to go ahead and accept the fact that we will never be done working on this list. This list is a day-to-day thing. This is not something that you will ever accomplish and complete and finish and get a trophy for. This is good. We are human beings and we are going to deal with these things, but it is constantly something that we have got to face and address and be mindful of. So don't stop learning. The minute you stop learning is the minute your business will stop growing. The minute you stop learning is going to be the minute that you decide that where you're at is far enough and you're not going to go any farther. And even if you knew the compliance and you read all of those news articles and you read all of the training videos word for word, and you have a photographic memory, so you've got it all down packed with everything there's no sensey, you still need to learn, because you need to learn how to lead. You need to learn how to talk to people. You need to learn how people think and how people feel. You need to be relatable to people. You know, you need people. I mean, customers, those are people. You need team members to move on up. Those are people. So we need to learn how to interact and communicate with people and talk to them. And so just never stop learning. So a good leader is never going to stop learning. And then now we're going to get into Cynthia a little bit. So number 5 is promoting your business. You need to lead yourself to be consistent with your business. If you are not consistent with your business, then people are not going to think you are serious about your business. And if you're not serious about it, then they're not going to be. If you are not consistently, I'm not talking about blowing people up on their newsfeed. I'm talking about consistently promoting your business and our products. If you're not consistently doing that, I mean, people aren't going to go hunt you down to find out what's new. You know, you've got to remind them and you've got to promote your business. We'll get more into this in another video, but just, you know, if you have a hard time staying on top of things with posting to social media or passing out handouts or whatever, if you have a hard time with that, there are ways to fix it. So you can schedule your posts like a month in advance if you want to. Just pick one day, use your time management, set an hour aside to go through and plan your time for the next couple of weeks to post on social media, and then it's going to do it for you and you don't have to do it. So wherever you are struggling with promoting your business, if you are struggling promoting your business, then let's work on that and figure it out. If there's a problem in your business and you are having a hard time promoting it because you're running into an obstacle, like, hey, I don't know how to get people interested. Okay, so then we need to go back to the previous step and continue our education. And we need to, I mean, there's so many, thousands and thousands of people who talk about attraction marketing, who talk about verbiage, who talk about things like that, and it's out there. So if we're having a roadblock, then we need to go back a step every single time. And then the last point for leading yourself is caring for your customers. You have to lead yourself to make sure you're following up. Lead yourself to care for your people. If you, people might act dumb, but people know when you're not genuine. Okay, there are plenty of people in my life that don't know that I know that they are not genuine people. And I just have that as a mental note in my head. And so the things that I do and say around those people, if I do them at all, they're going to be based off of that that knowledge that I have. And so people can sense when you're not genuine. And if you do not genuinely care about these people, they're going to have no reason to come back to you. So there are plenty of Scentsy consultants in this area, plenty of them. And your customer came to you. So we don't need to get too big for our pants and say that, oh, I've got these customers now, because don't you think for a second that they will not jump ship and go to somebody else who actually has made a connection and built a relationship with them, because it will happen. It will happen. If you're not going to treat your customers right, then somebody else will. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. If you show that you don't respond to messages, you leave them on read, you don't answer all of their questions. When they message you 2 or 3 questions in one post and you answer one of them, they're going to know you didn't read it all the way or weren't paying attention or something, and their questions didn't get answered. And if they're anything like I am, I'm not going to ask again because I don't want to be annoying. So they might just go find their answer from somebody else or from somewhere else. You want to be their Scentsy girl and their Scentsy hero, and you have to take care of them. Okay. So if you are not, where'd y'all go? Okay, so if you are not caring for your customers, they know, they can tell. And I'm not just talking about caring for them when they buy from you. I'm talking about building a connection. Building a connection and a relationship with them is not a one-time thing. I have people who haven't bought from me in a long time, like since Christmas. And we still chat every now and then. And I'm going to continue doing that. I'm not going to pretend they don't exist now because they haven't bought anything from me. I mean, I'm building relationships with people. I'm not just taking their money. Because you may do really well with sales for a while, but if you're not building connections with people, then that's not going to last. That's not going to last. I promise. Because then there's going to be nothing tying them to you. There are people who have told me that they will only buy from me. And there are people that, I've made friends with. And of course, friends are going to help friends, right? And it's not just that, but I've supported my other friends too, selling things. And, connecting with people and building relationships means checking in with them when they're sick. Liking and commenting their post, telling them happy birthday on their wall if that's what it takes. Whatever friends do for friends is what you need to do if you want to be somebody's friend and build relationships with them. When somebody just had a baby, say congratulations. It takes 5 seconds to type. Actually, you don't even have to. If you have an iPhone, your Android might do it too, but once you hit on a post, it automatically knows what that post is about based on the caption and what other people have commented. It will type congratulations for you. You just have to hit it and hit send. That's it. That's all you have to do. And that little bit of action can mean the world to somebody. Be a friend before you're a Scentsy person. Be somebody's friend. There is not enough of that in this world. And you have to lead yourself to be caring and to have that heart. And if you don't have the heart for people, take it back some steps. Because you can't do anything successful with this business if you are not caring for yourself or time management to care for yourself. You are not going to do good in this business if you don't have a bigger picture in mind. You are not going to do well in this business if you have a freaking chip on your shoulder and you're carrying it on into your business. You are not going to do well in this business if you don't educate yourself and continue your education. You're not going to do well if you don't promote, and you're not going to promoting your business, and you're not going to do well if you do not treat your customers right. And all of that is leadership for yourself. Because before you can lead anybody else, you need to make sure that you're leading yourself. Now, you don't have to be perfect at leadership in order to sponsor or to lead somebody else. You guys can do this together, okay? You can do it together. And, actually having somebody with you, next to you, working on these things together is great. You can have an accountability partner. And that is going to build up your business and your success more than anything, is having a friend, having somebody you can hold each other accountable with. So don't think, oh great, now I got to perfect this list before I go sponsor somebody. You don't have to go perfect this. You just need to be actively trying. You just need to be trying. And if your heart is there and you have the determination to move forward and move up, and you are willing to try to be your best self and to make sure you're leading yourself, then you are a perfect leader. Because there is no such thing as a perfect leader. An imperfect leader who is actively working on themselves and is not pretending that they're perfect is a perfect leader. And so, it's just, guys, leading yourself is going to determine your success or failure in anything. But because we're talking Cincy, I'm talking Cincy. You are not going to be successful if you are not leading yourself, or at least trying, at least every day. Man, okay, let me self-reflect. What's going on? If you are just ignoring the chip on your shoulder, if you are just ignoring your self-care, if you are ignoring time management, you might be able to keep up for a little while, just barely, but I guarantee you're not doing it well, and you're not doing it as successfully as it could be. And what you're really doing is kind of wasting time a little bit, because if you get burnt out because you're not managing your time or yourself or whatever, then you're going to quit, and all of this is for nothing. So we've got to get these steps in order first, number one, and do it with somebody. Sign up with somebody. Once you sign up, call your best friend and say, hey, come on over, let's do this together. Because this has helped me a lot with a lot of things that I didn't even know I needed help with. And I know I wouldn't even have searched for this information had it not been for me trying to be a good leader for myself in Cincy. So you guys just make sure that you're leading yourself, and the rest is going to come. Okay? So until next time.